bit of interesting news, although I kind of feel like it's a repeat of news, but it's got an added bonus to
No,
it.
there's something new in here.
Yes,
There's
I did.
something
I
new in
noticed. I
here.
noticed. I noticed. I
Yeah.
noticed. So,
This
Captain America 4 is going for its 4th round of reshoots with a brand new director, reportedly. Interesting.
Oh my God!
Come on.
So this
comes
comes
up tomorrow.
to us
What are you talking about?
from John F. Trent and from his Substack, where he is reported, because we already knew that that Mackie, he was back for reshoots, as well as the main villain. Both of them are back for reshoots. Now, we haven't said much about it because honestly, I thought that this was simply a matter of the standard mandatory 2 weeks of reshoots that they always do. That's why I haven't said anything more about it. But I was evidently quite mistaken, because what is being reported here is that the director has been replaced for these reshoots, which means that the director is booted off the movie. He is reportedly cool about it, presumably because he wants a career afterwards. But there's a new director helming these reshoots, which means that these reshoots must be extensive. Because if they weren't extensive, there would be no need for a different director. So, which means that they are now, with less than 6 months before the movie's release, they're not even that, 3 months before the movie's release, they are now making significant changes to it in what would be a 4th round of reshoots. This movie, by the end of it, is probably going to be the most expensive Marvel movie ever. Therefore, its biggest flop.
I think this round has more to do with they now kind of probably have to reconfigure this film to fit into what's coming down the road. Oh, that's my guess here.
Do you think it has to do with the successes and the failures of
Yes, right. I think that this is a change in what they have coming forward. I wouldn't be surprised if even the Thunderbolts undergoes a bunch of reshoots again after the travesty that was Agatha all along, all the other crap that has come along. Kevin Feige actually taking one on the chin and admitting that Marvel has a problem and has to readjust. Now, are they going to fix it? We don't know. We have yet to see on that. But that's what I think this is probably more to do with. Otherwise, I mean, because they just released a trailer. And to me, it's kind of weird that they're...
How well was that trailer received?
It was not well received, but nothing they put out has been well received lately. And they can't be that, unaware of it at this point, considering the box office is reflective of it.
Well, what
when
they
your
can
only success
be,
has been Spider-Man and Deadpool and Wolverine, and those two things only have a few things in common. I don't know. That might be the next thing they lean into. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know. Like, all we can do is speculate for the exact reasons for these reshoots. I would hope that you are right, Tom. But if you were, why would they change the director? That signals to me bigger structural problems that they're now trying to fix. Or what say you, Paulie?
That it could be a scheduling issue.
I was going to say that could be too.
Yeah, depending on what is being filmed, a secondary director. Oh, later, Chato. A secondary director or second unit director is much more apt to do like action sequences or on a certain location that maybe that second unit director already did in the past. Oh, let's just use him. Take it back to New Orleans on a street. Like they that second unit director. I'm just thinking like that is more the case than maybe a director is bounced because they're not liked. Probably has to do with scheduling, and also too maybe that director is maybe working is just not available. I mean, this is late inning stuff here as far as shooting now, a reshoot. Yeah, that's just my thoughts, Andre.
Yeah, no, and I don't know. We just have to wait and see, because there's like we now need more information before we can speculate, because all we have right now, we have theories. We have multiple theories that fit the facts. We need more information. What is said right here is that these new set photos arrived just a day before a new report from Jordan Rumi at World of Real claimed that Julius Ona, so that's from World of Real who says that, has most likely been replaced as the director of Captain America Brave New World during this latest bout of reshoots. Rumi went on to share that Ona will maintain directing credit, but a source told him he's not calling the shots. That doesn't sound like a scheduling conflict to me. The source also informed him that Ona is being a good sport about it. If it was scheduling, it would be a complete non-issue. All of this comes in the wake of reports claiming that test screenings for the film in October did not go well. Rumi reported at the time, 2 different cuts of the film test screened last week. The person who attended didn't seem to like the movie all that much. He added, the reactions I've heard had not blah, blah, blah. We've heard all this before. To me, it sounds like they're trying to change the movie. But again, that's just based on this reporter, so we don't know. I just think it's weird that we learn of that here we have a report from World of Real claiming that the director has been replaced and that he has is no longer calling the shots on these reshoots. That says to me that it's more than a scheduling conflict.
Well, what we do know is it's a reshoot. It's
that
money.
We do know. Yes.
It's time. Like when is this thing supposed to come out? This is another
February or May or something like that, I think.
Yeah, February, March, thereabouts.
This is another
February 14th, I think, is its release date.
You know what this reminds me of? Another movie that had reshoots this close to release, Quantumania.
Yeah, no, like that's what I'm saying. Like something feels like they're trying to change something that major with the film, but the director is either not on board with it or was having some kind of scheduling conflict. But in most of these reshoots, 9 times out of 10, it still feels like, regardless of what lessons they may have learned, they're still making some of the same mistakes, and that is not letting the directors make their own movies. Kevin Feige kind of ghost directing everything from above. This movie's going to be a fucking Frankensteinian mess, to quote Andre. I mean, we can already see it.
Thank you very much. But,
Abomination or whatever. Yeah, it's going to be completely stitched together of 4 different reshoots, or 3 different reshoots and an original shoot. So, like, at this point, I keep reshooting it because that's actually making me want to see how bad it is at this point. Because otherwise, I could give a fuck. Like, this is non-news to me just because I don't care. But, I mean, it might be funny just because of how bad it is. I don't know.
But what an absolute overall disaster for Marvel and Feige. You know, you get a hit with Deadpool, but you guys were even saying it's like, yeah, you got the hit, but you know, how are you going to follow it up? You guys have been saying this for months. How are you going to follow it up, Agatha?
Yeah.
This
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is the frustrating thing. Deadpool and Wolverine was a fluke. It's not a sign of any new direction. It's straight back to the misery they were doing before. And this was what frustrated me the most with this lackluster event in Brazil, where we got the new trailer and everything like that. When asked, what's the future for Deadpool and Wolverine? Kevin Feige couldn't answer that. When he should have been answering, oh, we have a ton of projects lined up for them, because what they needed to do after that was completely rearrange their plans, but they haven't done that. It's still the same plan from the same quads that have been screwing everything up the last 5 years, and I do not trust them as far as I can throw them, and I have zero faith in Fantastic Four. I know some people have. It still has female Silver Surfer. That alone is.
Let me lob out there what I think is going on here. And I think that is that you're right. They know that they have fucked up. And I think they kind of know why Spider-Man and Deadpool worked. And I'll tell you why they worked. They worked because they were built on a legacy. And Marvel is built on a legacy. And they know that, but they're going at it about the wrong way. What are they doing? They're trying to drag Robert Downey Jr. back into the fold. They're trying to do and I guarantee you we're going to start hearing about, you know, Chris Evans and everybody else is going to start showing back up for something. They're going to try that, but it's too little, too late, and nobody gives a shit. And they're going to do it in convoluted, stupid fucking ways that nobody cares, like Doctor Doom then will de facto become Robert, you know, the Iron Man somehow or something like that. You know what I mean? Or it'll be an alternate universe version of Tony Stark or something it'll end up being. It doesn't matter. They have done fucked this so badly. The time to course correct was 5 years ago, and it's too late.
The course correct, right? Let's be honest. would just they just should have shelved this. But
yes, that's what they should have.
Unfortunately,
right?
that's not an option. Yeah.
But because of still the identity politics of this particular piece.
Well, it's not even that. It's they're contractually locked into this. That's
No,
what people need to
okay,
understand.
all right,
yeah.
but you know what I mean. It's just kind of obvious how, and if they're contracted, they're just wasting more money. I mean, I'd love to get talk to Mike about this, but I'm just saying they should have shelved this.
They should have, and they should have just paid themselves out of all the contracts, because the brand damage from this movie is going to be worse than any financial losses.
Andre was right when he said the strike is when they should have used that momentum of the strike to shut a lot of this shit down. Sorry, I just want
force majeure everything. That's what they should have done. Shut everything they had going down. Agatha, the whole lot. Take that loss and then fix the MCU with a new team. And they didn't do that, and I have very little faith in their ability forward. But we actually have an update to this story. If we check the new link in the description.
You guys are getting here first. Midnight's Edge. Clips.
Yeah. Because a new link, or not description, but in the private chat I meant, Tom. Because this is a story that comes to us now from comicbookmovie.com.
I just noticed that too. They put out a version
evidently have taken a look at this rumor from World of Real, and they say, debunked. Julius Ona has not been replaced as director on Captain America: Brave New World.
Wow.
Which tells me that, problems must be pretty extensive here, because this is still a new round of reshoots. A source familiar with the project has confirmed that Julius Ona is still on board as director. And then they say, according to World of Real, the original director is no longer at the helm because he was over his head. The movie clearly wasn't working. He's no longer calling the shots on it. But the update then from comicbookmovie.com is that no, he is still there, and there's no reshoots happening. So yay.
There is reshoots happening.
So press X for doubt.
Yeah, what the fuck? Well, this is typical comicbookmovie.com bullshit. Like, I don't believe that.
I'm looking now, though, on news in general with Julius, and you're getting a lot of question marks now. Was he replaced? He's replaced, reportedly replaced for reshoots.
Rumors like that, they don't come up on their own.
Yeah, well, I mean, those stories that to be fair, Paulie, the ones you're reading are probably going off of the same report as the one we were just initially going off of.
Yeah.
But I don't believe the comicbookmovie.com story.
Well, what I do believe is that someone in Julius's camp is trying to save his career.
I think you're right. I think they're trying to save face. Well.
Yeah, yes. That's what I think. I would say, for as long as I have covered this, of course, there have been some rumors which are instantly bullshit. Like, for instance, this thing about Tatiana Maslany suing the people behind Deadpool and Wolverine because
she went on a podcast and she was joking.
That was bullshit. That was her having a fun with rumors that were obvious bullshit, and that there was no truth to whatsoever, because they were obviously made up by a clickbaiter. That's one thing. Okay, we don't cover those. But of the kind of rumors where there really is some kind of smoke, like, for instance, this story from World of Real, I have never, as long as I've been doing this, come across a story to be published in a publication like that without there being some spark of truth in it. Now, it may not always have been as bad as it first appeared, but it may not have been a raging fire, but there was some level of smoke there. I have never seen that not to be the case. To me, I pay much more credence to that initial report than this debunking, because my experience is that the debunkings are PR spin, designed as you just said, Paulie, at protecting the reputation or doing some damage control.
It doesn't even matter if they replace the director or not. The fact that they're doing yet another fucking round of reshoots is the real story. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, there's a lot going on here, and you're right.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here. And you know, they get these directors and they chew them up and spit them out, man. You know, and these guys are, you know, he's not the first one. There's like several now that they really damaged their career. This wasn't the case, right? This made careers of these filmmakers, or they had filmmakers of note that came on and did the Thors and the Russo brothers, Kenneth Branagh, Favreau. And now you have this generation of more, I would say, independent, more creative, even some documentarian filmmakers that they brought in, and it just hasn't worked out well at all.
Well, and I don't think they've earned their wings, right? Like that's the other thing. You're having people jump from, you know, low level shit. We brought this up before, so it's not like it's anything new, but you know, low level shit into these big multi-million dollar, you know, hundreds of millions of dollar films. And we used to make fun of fucking music directors, video directors for doing this shit, but it's like at least they had the fucking, you know, they learned a lot of that shit in music videos because the amount of special effects and other things that you're doing like mini huge productions. So at least these people were learning their trade going into this, or commercials even, right? Same kind of thing. Sure, you're making basically little short films, basically.
Well, that's Fincher came out of that. They married up, right?
Yeah.
Commercials, music videos that had cinematic elements.
These guys haven't done any of that shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. And the mistake was that, hey, let's hire the Oscar award-winning filmmaker that just did this film. It's like, well, how is that going to benefit a comic book story? You know, we go back to the Penguin. You know, these guys knew what they were doing because they changed lore, but they didn't, you know, as far as some of the characters, but it was never a mistake. It was always a gangster comic book film.
Right.
TV show.
You know, it's just, I have no faith in
this clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe and join us.